Housing system continues to cause trouble, this time for sophomores. We have the details coming up.
We found one ELN student who is turning her passion for planning into a career before she even graduates.
And the women's basketball team is on their way to Maryland to participate in the CAA tournament.
All that and more coming up on ELN Morning.
Good morning, ELN. Thank you for starting your day in Studio A. I'm Caroline Hartshorn.
And I'm Maya Eaglin. The spring weather is finally here, and we've got a look at your weather and a way to combat your allergies.
But first, we have an update on student housing. Today, some sophomores are still without a place to live next year. The new housing website crashed again last night while sophomores registered for next year. So far, the new system is being plagued by server issues. An email sent to sophomores last night says the housing assignments secured yesterday will be deleted. Students who had sign-up times yesterday or today will re-register next week. Upperclassmen experienced similar issues earlier this year, resulting in assignments being deleted and sign-up times being rescheduled. Res Life has not released the new sign-up dates for sophomores.
And more news for making headlines across our state and globe. Our Connor Delpreet is in studio with this morning's newsreader. Good morning, Connor.
Thanks, Maya. We begin internationally. According to CNN, a captured operative has been providing information on the locations of ISIS targets to the United States military for the past 3 weeks. The information has been enough to begin striking areas in Iraq in hopes of crippling the Islamic State's chemical weapons, specifically mustard gas, a weapon produced by ISIS itself. Officials informed CNN the captured source is Sliman Duad al-Bakr, but cannot confirm his specific role in the chemical weapons program. Next, we head to national news. According to Allegheny County Police, 5 people are left dead as a result of a shooting late last night in Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania. Police responded to reports of a shooting in a backyard at 11 p.m. last night, and Lieutenant Andrew Sherman says there are no subjects in custody. Investigators believe that multiple gunmen were involved and they were on foot after the shooting. Among the 5 people dead, 4 were women and 1 was a man. 3 more people are currently hospitalized being treated for injuries. Moving from national news to local news, a local child's wait for a heart transplant is finally over. 13-year-old Albert Jeffries was set to undergo surgery last night at 10 p.m. after waiting for more than 3 months. Jeffries' mother received a call from doctors on Tuesday that her son would finally get the new heart he desperately needs. Jeffries was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy, an enlarged heart, at just 4 months old, and has been confined to UNC's Children's Hospital since early December of last year. With news making headlines, I'm Connor Delpreet. Maya, back to you.
Thanks, Connor. The numbers are in for ELN Day. On Tuesday, more than 3,200 donors on campus and around the world supported the many opportunities ELN has to offer. The campus received more than 3,700 gifts from donors, raising a total of over $950,000. On social media, hashtag ELN Day received over 4,500 mentions and became a national trending topic on Twitter. ELN passed last year's gift record of more than 2,700 gifts by over 1,000 gifts.
If you're looking for either a post-grad job or a summer internship, head over to Alumni Gym from 2 to 5:30 this afternoon for the ELN Job and Internship Expo. All students are able to attend and will be able to talk to companies and organizations set up around the gym. You can download the ELN Career Fair Plus app on Android or iPhone for a list of employers. Future ELN Job Network events and announcements from ELN Career Services are included. The app also includes tips on what to wear, how to prepare an elevator pitch for employers, and how to connect with the Student Professional Development Center.
If you're looking to get out of the bubble this weekend, look no further than Tanger Outlets, just a few exits from ELN. Tonight is College Life Night at the Outlet Mall from 8 to midnight. There are several sales going on at several stores, including Polo, Tommy Hilfiger, and Vineyard Vines. DJs will provide live music and there will be games including cornhole and bowling. Tanger Outlets will also donate $500 to the sorority or fraternity that has the most check-ins at the event.
The North Carolina primary is only 5 days away. We have Brianna McClellan in studio with what you need to know before you head to the polls. Good morning, Brianna.
Good morning, Caroline.
How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Great. So last night there was a Democratic debate. Can you tell us what's happening on that side, the Democratic side?
Sure. Well, honestly, Caroline, the Democratic side of this race is really heating up. Tuesday, Senator Bernie Sanders beat Secretary Clinton in the Michigan primary, which I don't think many people were expecting at all. And then again, last night in the debate, Secretary Clinton was asked about the email scandal, and she didn't really respond. And yesterday, the Republican National Committee announced that they're filing 2 different lawsuits against her in order to obtain these messages, whether they were texts sent via BlackBerry Messenger or emails between not only her 4 senior aides, but also her Democratic presidential committee that's helping her candidate.
So do you think that that's going to affect her?
I think it could hurt her, but honestly, only time's going to tell because they are lawsuits. They're time sensitive, and whether or not it will make a difference, we'll have to wait and see.
Right. So what's happening on the other side, the Republican side?
Making major news right now, Donald Trump is still leading in the polls, but Senator Ted Cruz from Texas was just recently endorsed by former Republican candidate Carly Fiorina, and we'll see if that helps him, if those voters that would have been for Carly will go to him, and if that will make a difference between him and Trump in the polls and delegates. But as of right now, Trump is still ahead in the polls. But tonight is the CNN debate with the Republicans, and we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if John Kasich and Marco Rubio will be able to get their voices heard. Right now, it's really become neck and neck between Trump and Cruz. So I'm curious to see what happens if they can get their voices heard.
Right. So now tell me a little bit about North Carolina. Why is it such an important state, and what can we expect within the end of this week and next week?
North Carolina is a very big swing state. It depends what way we go. We're very purple, red or blue. And it's been interesting because all of the candidates have been visiting. We've had Bernie Sanders in town, Hillary Clinton, throughout the state. And honestly, it'll be interesting to see. Donald Trump has been here, and Senator Ted Cruz is not here himself, but his father, Pastor Cruz, is going to be in town over the weekend. So another person advocating for him. Right. And it's important to go out there and reach out to citizens and try to get them to go out to the polls on the 15th.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Bree, for coming to talking to us about this. Our Paula Blanc and Zach Hernick will be at the Hillary Clinton event this afternoon in Durham. Stick with ELN Local News throughout 2016 for election updates.
Yesterday was a beautiful spring-like day at Elon, and I really hope this weather lasts a little longer. Our Kenneth Brown Jr. is in downtown Elon with your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Good morning, Kenneth.
Yes, hello and good morning, Elon. It's a pretty cloudy start to the morning, sun here and there, but cloudy skies will still linger into today. Today, a high of 80 degrees. Yes, you heard me right, 80 degrees and a low of 60, but right now it's just a mix of sun and clouds and a breeze coming in from the north. Now, spring has been in full force. I know people have been studying outside, sitting by the lake, but the real question is, will this weather continue for the next few days? Well, I have your answer. Let's take a look at your Phoenix 5-day forecast, and tomorrow temperatures are going to be in the upper 70s, high of 79 and a low of 54. And Saturday, clouds continue to linger with highs in the upper 60s, high of 67 and the low of 56. But Sunday is a day that you need to be concerned about, so make sure you are alert because you do have an 80% chance of thunderstorms, the high of 73 and the low of 56. And Monday, those pestering storms linger with a high of 73 and a low of 56, so make sure that you stay dry. So spring does mean nice weather and sun, but it does mean a few wet days here and there, and we're about to go through that in the next few days. I'm Kenneth Brown Jr., live in downtown Elon. Caroline, back to you.
With new additions coming to the School of Communications and School of Business, we talk to another school who has not seen as many updates.
I'm Paula Blanc, and if you are already suffering from springtime allergies, I have some affordable ways to deal with them on this week's College Consumer. That was a cold read right there. That was a cold.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
One in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare to do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
At ELN, the School of Communications and the Love School of Business have been getting a lot of attention with new building additions, but some majors are not as popular or well-funded. I sat down with some students in one of those schools, the School of Education. According to a spring 2016 registrar report, there are currently 292 ELN students studying to be future educators. Junior Isabel Tebow is an education major and fellow who believes there are a few things missing from ELN School of Education.
We don't have a ton of resources. We have a couple of smart boards and things which are good for us to practice. The building itself is kind of old though.
Freshman Kristen O'Neill is also an education major and thinks that the education students do not get as much as they deserve.
I think a lot of people know how awesome our education teachers are and how well prepared we are for the field. It's just ELN focuses more on the business and the communication sides of things.
While some students believe that the program has outgrown the building, other students believe that the experiences gained in Mooney are far more important.
I think the point of the education program is to get us into the community and get us involved with the schools, and that's what it does. It doesn't really matter that you don't have a new fancy building, in my opinion.
ELN's recognized the need to expand the school. In December 2011, ELN released the plan for the future of the campus. The report says the current location doesn't meet the education school's needs in terms of quantity and quality. The university wants more space that's flexible for teaching, group study, and large-scale instruction. Junior elementary and special education major Jackie Spencer also believes the education program is preparing students for the future.
Well, personally, I think that teachers are pretty used to just doing their best with what we have. I mean, I have never felt outraged that someone else is getting a new building. I think that we have what we need to do what we do.
Maya Eklund, ELN Local News. The Mooney Building, where the School of Education is housed, recently received a renovation of the first floor's Curriculum Resource Center, which brought new tables, chairs, and smartboards.
It's Throwback Thursday, so our Brooke Wivag takes a look at some things that happened on this day in history.
On this day, March 10th, in 1969, James Earl Ray pled guilty to the killing of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Ray was sentenced to 99 years in prison and died in 1998 from an infection. And in 1978, The Incredible Hulk TV series premiered on CBS starring actor Bill Bixby. The show was on air for 5 seasons and ended in 1982. And finally, in 2012, Coke and Pepsi announced they would change their soda formulas following a California law mandating companies put labels on products with cancer-causing chemicals. The recipe change modified how these two popular sodas get their caramel color. With your blast from the past, Brooke Wivag, ELN Morning.
If spring allergies are already keeping you from enjoying this spring weather, our Paul LeBlanc has some affordable ways to stop sneezing and enjoying the spring weather. Good morning, Paul.
Thanks, Maya. Well, spring weather is upon us. Unfortunately, so are spring allergies. Here are 3 simple and inexpensive ways to help you keep allergy-free that don't cost anything at all. First, try cutting back on dairy products, like milk, cheese, and yogurt produce high amounts of mucus. Add that to the mucus your body creates naturally to protect itself from seasonal pollen, and you'll be wishing you didn't go for that tall glass of milk. And if you're an early morning exerciser, you might want to postpone until the afternoon. The pollen count is highest in the early morning, so don't be afraid to delay your morning routine in the name of allergy prevention. And finally, instead of the Biscuitville sandwich, Try subbing in an orange or a grapefruit for breakfast. Vitamin C-rich foods are anti-inflammatory and can be the difference between enjoying the spring weather and being stuck with a cold. Looking out for the college consumer, I'm Paulo Blanc. Caroline and Maya, back to you.
If you're looking for some fun things to do this weekend, you don't even have to leave campus. Tonight at 11, Sparks will be hosting midnight meals in Arazu. Activities will focus on having a fun and safe spring break, and there will be free food. And if you're looking for a laugh, tomorrow night from 10 to 2 a.m. is Friday Night Live at Tap House. There will be Sparks Slam Poetry from 10 to 12, and Small House will be performing from midnight to 2.
If you want to catch up on the big name movies of 2015, then check out Sub Cinema's showing of Concussion Saturday night at 9 p.m. in Moseley. Concussion will feature Will Smith and Alec Baldwin and follows the story of a doctor in Pittsburgh who discovers the truth about repeated brain damage in football players. Lastly, the Department of Performing Arts will be hosting their spring dance concert Pulse throughout the weekend in McCurry Theater, starting Friday at 7:30 p.m. The dance concert is performed by students and faculty in the BFA program, and each concert is free to students.
Next, a student who helps brides walk down the aisle before she walks across the stage at graduation.
And we have a recipe that you will go bananas for in this week's College Cooking.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Now, it may be too early in the morning to eat wedding cake, but our Kaylee Tracy spoke to one student who helps couples pick out their cake and a whole lot more for their big day.
Junior Catherine Mann doesn't just fantasize about her own wedding.
I have a Pinterest board and I think about it all the time.
She dreams about other brides' big days as well.
Having someone's vision, telling me what that vision is and making it come to life is that's just what it's all about, is making that big day so special for the bride and the groom.
Mann became a certified wedding planner last month after a 2-day class in Greensboro with the Bridal Society, a wedding planning certification agency.
This is the first time I think in forever that I've ever been in a classroom where I did not want to leave the classroom, and I just couldn't get enough.
Mann, a sport and event management major and business minor, says the idea to get certified stemmed from her love of planning.
I was the friend that always wanted to get our friends together and plan stuff.
And after talking to a wedding planner this summer,
he really, really inspired me just to go for it. And it was so out of the blue too. I was like, wait, really? Like, I should go be a wedding planner right now? And he's like, why not? Like, go for it.
She has since launched her own business, Catherine Mann Wedding and Event Planning, complete with a website and business cards, all while balancing school.
Homework comes first, of course. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be in school. But as soon as I get a little bit of free time, I open up the wedding planning.
And what about her own wedding, the one she's been imagining since she was little?
Definitely gonna talk to my own vendors and get my wedding planned on my own, but then hopefully have someone help me execute it. But that's a long way down the road.
Mann has already begun planning her first wedding, her cousin's in June, and she hopes to plan other events like birthday parties in the future. Kaylee Tracy, ELN Local News.
Mann plans to make the business a full-time job when she graduates next year.
Now let's take a look at what is making headlines this week in entertainment. Today, Sony is expected to end its relationship with music producer Dr. Luke. Singer Kesha sued Dr. Luke in 2014 for sexual assault and mental abuse. A judge had originally ruled Kesha could not be released from her contract with Dr. Luke and could not make music with anyone else. A petition circulated online called Free Kesha that some believe prompted Sony's response to release the producer. George R.R. Martin is not dead. The Game of Thrones author had to release a statement saying that he was okay after local news outlets reporting on the death of Beatles producer George Martin used photos of R.R. Martin instead. Social media didn't help the situation as complaints about getting the latest Game of Thrones novel started to circulate on Twitter. R.R. Martin was humorous about the situation, tweeting that he is still alive, writing books, and plans to stay that way for years to come. Big Hero 6 is set to return to the big screen on Disney XD in 2017. The movie was a critical and commercial success, winning the Academy Award for Best Animated Picture in 2014 and the third highest grossing film in Disney history. The series will pick up immediately following the events in the movie and continues to follow the adventures of the 14-year-old tech genius hero and his robot Baymax. So did you see that movie? I thought it was great.
It was actually pretty
good. And in a
sweet
turn of events, heartthrob Zac Efron replaced a damaged cell phone for a fan, dropping it right at his feet. The fan broke his phone while trying to capture a video of Efron near the set of his latest movie adaptation, Baywatch. Efron not only replaced the broken phone, but starred in a video for his fan. So what's your favorite Zac Efron movie?
Okay, I was thinking about that. I'm always a fan of all the High School Musical just because they're classic, but I do like The Neighbors. And did you know they're coming out with a sequel as well?
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so what about you?
Zac Efron never looked better than he did in Hairspray for me.
Oh, Hairspray was a good one.
Yep.
Maya, always thinking about it. Are you missing all the delicious homemade pies from the holiday season? Our Allie Dietz had a classic easy recipe in this week's College Cooking.
On the corner, we're all craving light, tropical, tasty treats. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy banana cream pie that rivals your grandma's. Before we get started, we are going to need 1 pre-made frozen pie crust, 1 5-ounce box of easy-to-make vanilla pudding, 3 bananas, 1 8-ounce container of Cool Whip, and 3 cups of milk. First, set your oven to 400 degrees and put the pie in to cook for 11 to 14 minutes. But don't forget to prick the bottom of the pie first. While your pie is in the oven, combine the pudding mix with the 3 cups of milk and whisk them together for 2 minutes. Let the pudding soften for 5 minutes and use that time to cut up the bananas. When your pie crust is done, line the bottom of the pie with bananas. Then pour the vanilla pudding on top of the layer and use the rest of the bananas to line the top of the pudding and press some pieces into it. When that is complete, just put the Cool Whip on top, cut into your pie, and enjoy. Yum! I'm Allie Dietz with ELN Morning.
It looks easy.
Pretty good, pretty good. I would
I'm
totally make
not
that.
the biggest fan of bananas or vanilla pudding or any combination of the two. But you know what? If it's easy to make and people like it, College Cooking, it's it's hard, you know?
It's hard, yeah.
All right.
And when we come back, the women's basketball team is heading for Maryland for the CAA tournament. We have the latest in Phoenix athletics. You're watching ELN Morning.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
The women's basketball team is heading to Upper Marlboro today, Maryland, to participate in the CAA Women's Tournament. Our Alex Hager will be covering the event for ELN Local News, but let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be expecting in the tournament today. They're playing against Delaware. They are they're number 2 in the season against Delaware. This is the I think third time they've played Delaware.
They're a
D5 team, and Shea Burnett is actually playing. There's she's okay. Sorry, the game is at 2:30 this afternoon. You can follow us on ELN Sports for any of the information that you're looking for. Shea Burnett is part of the I'm so sorry. She is one of the best on the court all season, and now her efforts during today's game are finally going to be paying off. She's a sophomore, and she was named the All-CAA first team for the women's basketball. She leads the Phoenix with 13 points and had almost 8 rebounds per game. The conference kicks off with the Phoenix facing Delaware, like we said earlier, at 2:30. So we're looking forward to that game. If you want to keep up with it, follow us on Twitter at ELN Sports, on ELN, our Facebook page, our website, and all of that. It's exciting.
And like we said, Alex Hager will be over at the event covering it.
Right.
So I'm sure he'll be live tweeting. We'll have some great footage for you guys coming up today.
Right, of course. So that's all we have for you. Thanks so much for joining us.
You can follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. And thank you so much for joining us today in Studio A.
Have a great day, Elon.